Good evening to one and all. Welcome you all to the daily current affairs session brought to you by Ganesh IAS Academy for the date 27th July 2023 for the news which came in Indian Express newspaper. Okay, let's get straight into the Indian Express. The news which came in Indian Express newspaper. Delays in delivery of justice a major concern, said by our President of India, Draupadi Murmu. About news, the President called Orissa to ensure, Orissa means Orissa High Court here. Orissa High Court to ensure delivery of justice to deprived section of the society during the function organized for the Orissa High Court, because this year is the 75th anniversary of the Orissa High Court. An institution, what President of India has said is, our institution needed to change with time, so adapting to the technology is very important right now, because the entire world is moving towards adaptation of technology. So adapting the technology to the justice delivery system will enable transparency as well as accountability, and also it will ensure speedy delivery of justice to the people, more importantly those who are deprived section of the society. This is what the crux of the news is about. So let's get into the details of the news. Since the news talks about the speedy delivery of justice to the underprivileged people, what are all the mechanisms being adapted in the recent time by the judiciary to promote the speedy delivery of the justice? Abdinradha we will see. First is e-courts project. The e-court project was conceptualized on the basis of national policy and action plan for implementation of information and communication technology in the Indian judiciary during 2005. It is a pan-India project monitored as well as funded by Department of Justice for the district courts across the country. Why it is being implemented is to enhance the judicial productivity both qualitatively as well as quantitatively, to make sure that the justice delivery system becomes affordable as well as accessible and cost effective as well as predictable, reliable as well as transparent. This is what the aim of the e-court project is. Second important mechanism is National Judicial Data Grid. It is a kind of database of what? Database of orders, judgment and case details of nearly 18,735 districts as well as subordinate courts and high courts. Created under the database will be created under e-court project. The data is updated on a near real-time basis, not after the particular judgment, case or order has been issued, by connecting the district as well as taluka courts. Third is SUPACE, a short name for Supreme Court Portal for Assistance in Courts Efficiency. It is not designed to take decisions, but only to process the facts and to make them available to the judges who are making their decisions, so that it enables the judge to get timely accessible to the relevant data for the particular case, and once the relevant data for the particular case is easily accessible to this portal, to the particular judge who is accessing the portal, he could able to speedily deliver the justice to the common people. So this is what the objective of SUPACE is about. It is a short form of Supreme Court with Anuvad software. It is used to translate the Supreme Court judgment into regional language, so that the common people could able to understand the datas as well as the orders as previous judgment, so that they could able to so that they could be able to aware of the judgment being given by the Supreme Court of India, and all, as a result of which they could be able to understand their own rights, because the information will be leading to empowerment of the people. So since it is being converted into regional language, it will be அது வந்து ஒரு எளிய சாமானிய மனிதர்களுக்கு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா ஒரு படிக்கக்கூடிய ஒரு தன்மையில இருக்கும். அப்போ அது படிக்கும்போது அண்டர் ப்ரிவிலேஜ் பீப்புள் could able to know about their rights. By knowing their rights, they will become empowered. By becoming empowered, they could again easily access the judiciary system. By accessing the judiciary system, they could able to get the justice what they require. Live streaming. The live streaming of cases of national importance being introduced by Supreme Court and also the other high courts to ensure that the transparency and openness in the judiciary system is prevailed, so that it wanted to reduce the opaqueness in the judiciary system. So these are all the technological initiatives being undertaken by our Indian judiciary to ensure that the justice delivery system be accessible as well as affordable as well as deliverable at correct point at correct time. So this is what the mechanism being adopted by the judiciary in the recent parts to ensure that the delivery of justice will to ensure that the delivery of the justice will be in timely manner. So apart from this, what the Constitution has said about justice for the underprivileged people, according to Article 14, it deals with equality before law and also equal protection of law. 1 minute. Then according to Article 21 says no person shall be deprived of his life or personal liberty except according to procedure established by law. And according to Article 39, it imposes an obligation on the state to provide free legal aid to ensure access to justice for all the citizens. And according to Article 38, the state shall strive to promote the welfare of the people by securing and protecting as effectively as it may a social order in which justice, social, economical and political shall inform all the institution of national life. So these are all the things being given under the Constitution to promote justice for underprivileged people. So what we needed to study further is we should know about the NALSA Act 1987 to promote speedy delivery of justice. What is about and who are all the beneficiaries will get benefited under the particular act, and what is the current status. Second is we should know about High Court and Supreme Court in the Constitution. What the Constitution says about High Court as well as Supreme Court. Third is we should know about how many number of high courts are present in India and which high courts has more than as jurisdiction in more than one states. அப்படின்றத we should know about them. Looking up, IMF raises its forecast for global growth, indicating that economic momentum is stronger than previously believed. IMF in its report called World Economic Outlook has said that this year growth of India will be 0.2% higher than what it has all predicted earlier. Why it has predicted that the India's growth will be more than what it has predicted earlier is because of the stronger momentum in the basics of economy, as a result of which the IMF is predicting that the momentum will be sustained and it will also lead to enhancement in the overall growth rate of the economy. IMF also said that the global growth will also increase across all the economics. The economies here, what I have mentioned is, it is developed economy, emerging economy, as well as underdeveloped economies, the countries which comes under the respective categories. Third is, IMF has suggested that even though the forecast about the future of the economic growth in terms of India as well as the global is very good, but there are some downside risks which we should not overlook. For that, IMF has suggested that the policy makers should focus on bring down the inflation as well as maintain the financial stability and rebuild the fiscal buffers. So these are other suggestions being given by IMF to every country to prevent any kind of downside risk that is going to happen in the near future. So since the news talks about the growth rate here means in India, not only in India, across the world, it is gross domestic product. So what does this gross domestic product is about? Gross domestic product at market price is equal to sum of gross value added and product tax. Here the product tax means the indirect tax, the excise duty, import duty, sales tax and service tax, and the reduction in subsidy. The subsidy could be in terms of the input subsidies like fertilizers, for food, petroleum, and other subsidies like food for the farmers or households. As a result of which, since the subsidy is being given by the government, the subsidies need to be taken out from the cost of production. So the final cost of the particular product will be in a value where the subsidy values will be reduced. So this is what the GDP at market price is, and it encompasses these sections. So what does the GDP at factor cost is? GDP at factor cost is the measure of price of a product when produced by a producer. It is arrived by reducing the product tax from the GDP at market price. So GVA is the GDP at factor cost in India. So by reducing the product tax as well as adding the subsidy to it, we could be able to arrive the factor of cost for making a particular product. So the cost of a factor for making a product is called as GDP at factor cost, and in India it is called as gross value added, adding a value to the particular product. So this is what the GDP is about, and in India we are using GDP at market price to calculate the growth rate. Since the report been released by IMF, we should know about the IMF itself. What does the institution is about? First is, IMF was formed as a part of Bretton Woods Conference 1944. It has currently 190 members, and it is headquartered in Washington DC. The three critical missions for furthering in the three critical missions of the IMF are furthering international monetary cooperation, encouraging the expansion of trade and economic growth, discouraging policies that harm prosperity. These are all the three missions of International Monetary Fund. IMF foster financial stability by offering policy advice, financial assistance and capacity development. In policy advice, IMF will monitor economic as well as financial policy of member countries and provide them with policy advice. And second activity is financial assistance. Unlike the World Bank or any other development bank, IMF does not lend for particular development projects. It will be providing financial support to the countries being hit by the economic crisis to create a breathing room or to create a financial stability in the particular country which has been hit by the crisis. For example, Sri Lanka. Capacity development. IMF provides technical assistance as well as training to help member countries to realign or enhance their economic policy so that it will be leading to their own good as well as the global good. So these are all the important functions of the IMF. So what we needed to study further is, we should, likewise how we have seen IMF, we should know about World Bank, Asian Development Bank, Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, and also we should know about the World Bank's criteria for differentiating the economy. Likewise, the developed country, high middle income country, lower middle income country, and poverty country. How the World Bank is differentiating these particular country, we should know about them. What are all the criteria been involved, and which we have discussed in the yesterday current affairs session. Please go and have a look at the previous yesterday's current affairs video so that you could be able to know about the details. Third is about IMF. What are all the financing instruments being used by IMF to finance the end users or the country? We should know about them also, apart from knowing the details as well as important objectives function of the IMF. In Baltic Sea, citizen divers restore seagrass to fight climate change. About news. The coast of Kiel, which is in North Germany, the scuba divers uses hand trowels to dig up the seagrass in the sea and uproot them. Not the grown seagrass, the seagrass shoots. They are digging up the seagrass shoots in the coast of Kiel, which is in Baltic Sea, and place them in the other area where there is no seagrass, so that they wanted to promote the development as well as growth of seagrass in the particular area. Why they are doing is, they wanted to reduce the carbon footprint which is present in the atmosphere, as a result of which the impact being created by the climate change could be reduced. This is what the aim is about. So since the news revolves around seagrass, we should know about what does this seagrass means. Seagrass are underwater plants that evolved from land plants. They are like terrestrial plants that they have leaves, flowers, seeds, roots and connective tissue, and they make their own food through photosynthesis. Unlike terrestrial plants, they do not have a strong stem to hold themselves up. Instead, they are supported by buoyancy of the water that surrounds them. So, this is the difference between the normal terrestrial plant as well as the seagrass plant, that is sea plant. The seagrass are very important food source and habitat for wildlife, supporting a diverse community of organisms in aquatic ecosystem. Seagrass have been called the lungs of sea because the seagrass produce their own food through the process called photosynthesis, as a result of which the oxygen has been released in the sea, so that the dissolved oxygen in the sea gets increased, which is very helpful for the other living organism that is present in the surrounding ecosystem. What is the speciality of the seagrasses in terms of carbon sink is seagrass could able to store more than 2 times what the forest in the land area could store. This is for the speciality of seagrass in terms of capturing carbon. It promotes fisheries and protects coast from erosion. Why it is creating fisheries? It is acting as habitat for the small fishes. So we could able to see the families of fishes. So which is very useful for fisheries, and the development of seagrass could able to develop the fishing economy across the surrounding region, and it also protects coast from erosion and also any kind of natural disaster like cyclones, floods, etc. Since the news talks about the place called Baltic Sea, and also the initiative called Baltic Sea Seagrass Initiative, we should know because the initiative the Baltic Sea Green Initiative is only doing the cultivation of seagrass in the sea, so to reduce the carbon footprint in the particular area. So this initiative is being led by Angela. She is a postdoctoral researcher at GeoMar, who has planted 3 test fields in the recent year. As a result of which, she discovered shoots of the seagrass are more resilient than the seeds of the seagrass. Then Stevenson has developed the course which contains online training as well as presentation to train the person, those who are volunteering themselves to the environmental activities. Third is a NGO called Maritime Conservation Group. A maritime conservation group called Sea Shepherd has fielded first round of volunteers, organized gears, food, shelters and permits. They are providing some materialistic support for this initiative. So these are all the 3 important members of the initiative under which the project is being implemented to shift the seagrass from one place to another in the Baltic Sea to reduce the amount of carbon dioxide that is present in the atmosphere. Since the news also talks about sea, as I said, Baltic Sea, you should know about the Baltic Sea itself. The Baltic Sea, it's an arm of Atlantic Ocean which is present in North Europe. The Baltic Sea is the youngest sea of our planet because it emerged the 9 countries which borders the Baltic Seas are Denmark, Germany, Poland, Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia, Russia, Finland and Sweden. So this is the factual question which we should know about. And also we should know about the straits as well as bay that is present in the Baltic Sea. And also we should know about Gulf of Bothnia and Alan Islands, Gotland Islands, Gulf of Riga, Gulf of Finland. These are the other things which we needed to know apart from the Baltic Sea, because these are the things which are, these are all the geographical features that are present in the Baltic Sea. So what we needed to study further is, we should know about what does this eutrophication means and what is the causes of the eutrophication and what is the impact of the eutrophication in environment. Second is, we should know about the mangroves as well as estuaries and what are all the physical as well as atmospheric conditions that is required for healthy growth of mangroves and estuaries, and what is the ecological benefit that is arising out from these two categories. Third is, we should know about wetland. Wetland not only means about knowing the places of wetland, but also its function in the ecosystem, and the type of wetlands. These are all the things which we needed to know about the wetlands apart from the place where it is located. Fourth is, we should know about the marshes, marshlands and its environmental features. Federal Bank of US has raised its interest rate by 25 basis point. It is the highest since 2001 raise. The interest rate has reached a level so that it has equaled the highest level which was reached during 2001. One minute. அதாவது federal the rate rise, interest rate rise by the Federal Reserve right now has made it the one of the largest rise since the 2001. 2001 க்கு அப்புறம் Federal Bank rise increase பண்ண அதிகபட்ச interest rate இதுதான். Not the 24 basis point interest rate. Over the period of time they have raised the interest rate. No, now it is reached a point where that the particular interest rate of the US is higher since 2001. So this is what the news is about. So we should know about the impact that the increase in the federal rate reserve that will have on Indian economy. What are the impacts? First is the capital. Increase in federal rate could lead to outflow of the capital from India. Why is, since the rise in interest rate act as the pull factor, because the investors will be very happy when they are getting high interest rate for their investment. So they will be investing in the US securities. As a result of which, the investment in Indian security will get reduced. So this is what the first impact in relation to capital is about. Second is depreciation of rupee. Since the interest rate will raises the demand for the US securities, then the correspondingly US dollars also will get strengthened. Why? Because we have to purchase the US security using the US dollar only. So the US dollar will get, the demand for US dollar will get increased and the US dollar will get strengthened. Since when the US dollar is getting strengthened, then the other currencies will get depreciated. Since India is being one of the largest importing countries and it is importing most of its product and it is paying in terms of dollar, India's rupee will get depreciated. As a result of which, India's trade balance will be negative and also current account deficit will also get increased. Domestic borrowings. Since investor become interested in US securities, domestic securities will find hard to attract investors. So what they will be doing is they will raise their interest rate to attract the investors. As a result of which, the cost of the industry securities in India, domestic securities in India will get raised. And stock markets, because of the flow of the capital from India to US, there will be the stock's price will get declined because there is less demand for Indian stocks in Indian stock exchange. As a result of which, the stock price will get reduced. The stock price is getting reduced means the capital for those particular company which is listed will also get reduced. Since the capital is reduced, they will be reducing their production. By reducing their production, there will be the increase in unemployment. They will be laying off a section of employees from their company. And also external debt. Since India's external debt is mostly denominated in US dollar, as US Fed rate hike will lead to strengthening of dollar. As a result of which, India's servicing of the debt will also get increased. This will in turn lead to the rise of external debt. And imported inflation. As we all know, India is importing most of its required products like gold, crude and electronics from other countries, and they are paying it in dollar only. Since the dollar has become strengthened, India needed to pay more to purchase the particular product. As a result of which, since India is paying more to purchase the particular product means the cost of the product will get increased, and it is being imported to India means then that increased cost of the product will also get reflected in the Indian economy. So it is called as imported inflation. So these are all the impacts that the rise in the federal rate will cause to Indian economy. What we needed to study further is we should know about the RBI monetary policy. Second is we should know about what is the RBI's role in Indian economy apart from controlling inflation. அது என்னன்றதையும் பார்க்கணும். About relation between interest rate and bond price. Fourth is we should know about what is bonds and debenture is about. Rupees 570 crores saved through anti-cyber fraud system, Ministry of State of Home Affairs has said. What the Ministry of State of Home Affairs has said is, with the help of cyber fraud reporting and management system, government has prevented some 570 crore financial fraud. The Ministry of Home Affairs has set up the Indian Cyber Crime Coordination Center to deal with all types of cyber crime in our country. Since the news revolves around the cyber fraud reporting and management system, we should know about what it is. It is the Ministry of, under the Ministry of Home Affairs initiative, the National Helpline numbered 1930 has been formed to report the cyber fraud that is happening across the country. The helpline 1930 and its reporting platform has been made operationalized by Indian Cyber Crime Coordination Center which is under the Ministry of Home Affairs. With the active support and cooperation from Reserve Bank of India and all other major banks, payment banks, wallet and online merchants. The facilities empower both the banks as well as the police by leveraging the new age technology for sharing the online fraud related information and taking action almost in the real time. So this is what the important details of the cyber fraud reporting and management system is. Since the cyber fraud reporting and management system is being implemented under I4C, that is Indian Cyber Crime Coordination Center, we should know about what it is also. Indian Cyber Crime Coordination Center is an initiative of Ministry of Home Affairs under Government of India to deal with cyber crime in the country in a coordinated and comprehensive manner. The objective is to act as the nodal agency to curb the cyber crime in the country, to strengthen the fight against cyber crime committed against women and children, to facilitate easy filing cyber crime related complaints and identifying the cyber crime trends and patterns, to act as an early warning system for law enforcement agencies for proactive cyber crime prevention and detection, awareness creation among people about preventing cybercrime, assist states as well as union territories in capacity building of police officer, public prosecutors, judicial officers in the area of cyber forensic investigation, cyber hygiene, as well as cyber criminology, and so on and so forth. So what we needed to study further is, we should know about the cyber architecture of India itself. What are the constituents that constitutes cyber architecture of India? Second is, we should know about the important cyber attacks and its types. Third is, we should know about the cyber security policy 2013, and also fourth, we should know about the IT Act 2000 and its important provisions. Okay. These are all the important news which came in today's newspaper. So let's get into the previous year prelims questions which was asked in relation to the news which was asked, which appeared today. In India, the Legal Service Authority provide free legal service to which one of the following types of citizen? A person with an annual income of less than 1000, transgender with an annual income of less than 2 lakh, first is 1 lakh, less than 2 lakh. Third is member of OBC with an annual income of less than 3 lakh, and all senior citizen. So the fourth statement is surely wrong. All senior citizen will not be coming under free legal service. Only the section of society under privileged section of the society's senior citizen only will be coming. Third is member of OBC with an annual income of less than 3 lakh is also wrong. So the first two statements is only correct. So answer is A, 1 and 2 only. Consider the following statement. Tight monetary policy of Federal Reserve could lead to capital flight. Capital flight may increase cost of firms with external commercial borrowing. Devaluation of domestic currency decreases the currency risk associated with external commercial borrowing. So this is 1 minute. Oh, there is some technical glitch. As from the previous during our discussion during the impact of US rate hike on Indian economy, what we have seen is a tight monetary policy could lead to capital flight. Yes, because the tight monetary policy of US could lead to the increased demand for US security, as a result of which US dollar could be strengthened and the capital could be taken out from the Indian economy and it will be invested in the US security, so that the investors could able to earn more amount of interest when compared to Indian economy. So statement 1 is correct. Second is capital flight may increase cost of firm. Yes, as I said, because of the reduced interest in the Indian domestic securities, the investors, what the domestic players will be doing is they will be reducing their security price, and they will correspondingly they will be increasing the interest rate for their securities to attract the investors back into the domestic Indian securities, as a result of which the cost of the Indian domestic securities will get increased, and then correspondingly when the cost of the securities getting increased means correspondingly the cost of the firm overall will also get increased. So third is devaluation of domestic currency decreases the currency risk associated with external conventional borrowing. As we have seen, the devaluation of rupee will be leading to increased risk. How it is since most of our most of our external debt is being denominated in US dollar. So if the dollar is getting strengthened means our rupee will get depreciated. Since our rupee is getting depreciated, we needed to pay more to compensate for the external dollar debt. So it increases the currency risk. So third statement is wrong. So this is option B. One and two. UPSC mains question. Discuss the desirability of greater representation to women in higher judiciary to ensure diversity, equity and inclusiveness. I want those students, those who are watching the current affairs session online, please do comment answer point for this question which you are seeing right now on the board, so that exchange of viewpoints could take place and we all could able to benefit from the viewpoints from each of us, as a result of which we could able to grow as a whole. Please do comment answer point for the question which you are seeing now. So thank you students, please do comment, subscribe, like, share, so that you could able to, and more importantly hit the bell icon so that you could able to receive the daily current affair notification and any other important current affair videos or important videos related to UPSC exam, which will be brought to you in the near future by the Ganesh IAS Academy. Thank you.